Yeah, hi everyone. It's been a while. The summer kind of occupied my way of living, family business, work, training, yeah, all that. On top of that, I been really sick too, so yeah, you can still hear. I might cough a bit on this video, which is, I would say, yeah, it's something that still linger after I was sick, but yeah, I will try to do more videos in the future. The life is getting in the way, and yeah, you know how it is. Anyhow, I will try to mix up the content a bit. I mainly talked about martial arts before and BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I also talked about in my last video that I review video games and also write gaming news on a website called Fragzone. So I thought that I might do some content with that too, because it's one of my two interests, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and video games. So yeah, I thought I would try this because it's also a bit easier to find something to talk about when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can be a bit harder to find stuff to talk about that is interesting to listen to. So I will try this. So today I will check out a game called Soulstice. It's a Japanese game. I got interested in it when I did when I recently did an interview with Stefanie Joosten. She is mainly famous for her role as Quiet, well, the character Quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5. So she did mocap for that character and also a voice, and she is a really interesting individual. You can find the interview with her on the website. I will leave the link down there and maybe up here in the video somewhere, because not only she do mocap and voiceovers and voices for game characters, she also is a singer, and she even, yeah, she's a model too, and she also produced games, which I didn't really understood until I did this interview. She have 2 games on her resume right now, which she's working on. Well, one is done, and that is Soulstice, and the other is Wanted Dead, which will come later in the autumn, I think, or next year. Anyhow, if you want to check out the interview, you can find it on the website. It is in English, but so, well, the site is in Swedish, but the interview is in English. So if you're interested, I think you should check it out, because Miss Houston is a really, really interesting lady to read about. She has some really interesting stuff to say about her life and the video game industry. But I thought we would check out this game. It's I think it was released last week, so I bought it actually. So this is not a review. Well, it might be some kind of review, but I bought it, so I have not received a review code on anything. It's all on me. So I thought we would check out the website first to see what this is all about. Yeah, here, Soulstice. As you can see, it will be released on, well, it is available on PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC. It is a type of action game. Joosten also explained the thing about European, well, Western ways of doing games and Japanese ways of doing games, and she said difference is that Western games and European games are more toward we try to make it more toward reality, while the Japanese game producers more are focusing on gameplay, and the story can be pretty out of there. So it can be kind of silly in a westernized views, but when you think about it, the video games started more or less in Japan with Super Mario and all that, and if you look at the history, the game mechanics have always been what is the core of Japanese games, while the story can be, with lack of word, rather silly, but still I can find them really interesting. So we will look at this. Here is the story of the game. I will just read it out. The balance of the Holy Kingdom of Kadas is compromised when powerful feral creatures known as wraiths invade from the other side of the veil. Threatening to consume the living, wraiths corrupt their victims and can even possess their bodies, turning into unstoppable monsters that can prey upon the common folks. The chimeras, hybrid warriors born of union of two souls, are the only ones who can protect humanity. Well, humankind. Yeah, it sounds pretty Japanese to me. As you can see here, Briar and Lute are two sisters who are being reborn as chimeras, and these are the two characters we are playing. They are actually kind of the same character. And the most interesting stuff here, I think, is that Stefanie Joosten are voicing both of the sisters. So she are kind of talking to herself most of the game, which is interesting. And I also asked a question about it because I thought it would be strange to act against yourself. But she are doing a pretty good job. Yeah. I must say though, this is not the first time I start up the game. I have played through the introduction of the game, so I played about 30 minutes, but I haven't played more than that, so it will be pretty much a first impression of the game itself. I thought it would be kind of stale to play through the introduction on camera, so so we will just skip that and jump right into the action. So, without further ado, I think we will just get on to it, right? Yeah, this is chapter 2 of the game. I have played through the first part, so we will start here. This, as you can see, this is very much like all these kind of action games from Japan. You have Devil May Cry, you have Bayonetta, you have Ninja Gaiden. You collect these orbs, red or blue orbs, and with those you can buy stuff, and you can also upgrade your characters. And here you have the two sisters, Briar and Lute. Yeah, Stefanie Joosten are voicing both of them, so it's kind of interesting to see her reacting and talking to herself during the gameplay, because they are interacting with each other and explaining the world, kind of exposition to the player. So I think we will just start the chapter, and I am going up on an elevator. I think this game is really, really beautiful when it comes to the art direction. As you can see, it kind of resembles From Software's games, Dark Souls or Bloodborne. with his large vistas, huge castles, large bridges, and also have this Gothic way of Gothic art direction, which I really like. There are some troubles I saw here with the shadows. I wonder what's that all about. I need to check my settings. The thing is too, the video here might seem kind of choppy, and that's because I have all this, I have the mic on and I have the camera on, and this kind of disrupt the games a bit. But if I'm not if I'm not recording, the game is rather smooth. And I also think that if you are buying it on Xbox or PlayStation, there will be no trouble with the frame rate, because frame rates are important in this type of games, and you will see why. Here are the characters, and as you can see, they are talking to each other. And as all Japanese games, or most, we are dealing with huge swords or huge weapons, which is, as from a martial art perspective, I think that it's rather silly, but I suppose I can just get along with it, and yeah, I can see why it's a cool thing. I think it's an anime thing in the beginning, or a manga thing, but yeah, I mean, just look at her. Sure, she seems agile and athletic, but you need Hulk arms to wield that weapon. But then again, it's fantasy, so what do I know? Maybe it's a medical weapon, or metals isn't as heavy in this world. I don't know. Anyhow, here you can see the vistas, and why I think it resembles the Soulborn games. It's kind of dark too. Well, not dark in a way that you don't see, but dark in the setting. And here you have a zombie you can kill, and as you can see, they drop orbs. The orbs you buy stuff from the vendor. You didn't see the vendor, but I met him just in between the levels, and yeah, as you could see, you could buy stuff, potions, upgrades, and also upgrade the characters. Both sisters can be upgraded, loot and Briar. But you need these kind of orbs, or should I say souls, because that's kind of the way to after From Software's games, I think most people call this kind of thing souls. So yeah, but to just stick to it, I think I will call it orbs. But you can see why I think it's have the same aesthetic as From Software games. Yeah, I turned down the sound a bit because I tried to have higher sound, but it kind of you had a hard time hearing me then. So yeah, evocation field. Okay, is something else I can do now. If you press light trigger, if you press left trigger, okay. Okay, good. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I can destroy this. Cobalt residues, dust. Okay, collect them to spend. Oh, I need. When I was looking in the store, I could see. There are two kind of. I thought I would will be able to buy her loot stuff with blue orbs, but it seems she needs crystals. Okay, so that is important then. Is this a kind of... Yeah. You will do a lot of crate bashing in this game. Oh, and now we come to the combat. Yeah, we'll just skip this so you can see. It is very resembling... Well, it's resembling most of the action games from the Japanese side. You can do combos, you can juggle enemies in the air. What is different from, let's say, Bayonetta and Devil May Cry is that you have loot as a companion, and when that little circle shows up, you can use her to stagger the enemy, which is really cool, because when you have a lot of enemies which are trying to kill you, you can, well, she can help you to, so you don't get overwhelmed. But as a game, I think there are both a finesse in it, that you can do combos and really try to juggle enemies and stuff like that, but you can also see that I can actually... But this is the beginning of the game, but I can actually just button mash too. You have two type of attacks. You have a light attack and a strong attack. So it's kind of easy in that way, and you can double jump and you can hit enemies in the air, and you can juggle them in the air to stagger them. So if you have played Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, you will feel really at home in this game. And yeah. And it's the same kind of mechanic. You kill the enemies, and then you just move on to the next arena. Well, arena more or less. What I don't like about this game, it is the camera. I saw on the first level there was some kind of problem with it when it comes to... I should just kill these enemies now and you could see what I mean. In these open areas, and I haven't had any problems with the camera when it comes to fighting, because most fightings are made in open areas, and the camera isn't a problem then. But I should explain in a minute now. Yeah, and this is also very Japanese. You get ratings for killing enemies and the battles. I got silver here, and I think platinum is the best. Yeah. The camera, you can kind of just move it a little bit, but you can't move it as you want to. And in a way it's kind of like Resident Evil, when you have a set camera, well, the old Resident Evil. And this causes some problem to find stuff, and also sometimes you move into the screen and then suddenly the camera switches to be in front of you, which is kind of annoying. And here you can actually be blocked. So yeah, as long as it doesn't interrupt the gameplay, or well, the gameplay it will interrupt, but as long as it doesn't interrupt the fighting, I think it's all fine. And haven't done that yet, because most fightings are done in these open areas. Yeah, the game is kind of gloomy. A lot of dead stuff, dead people. The world seemed to be in the brink of the apocalypse or something. But yeah, yeah, here you can see the camera. I can't move it, and it can be hard to see where I'm going. Of course, you can see down there. It seems to like to be away, well, a path, but here I'm kind of blocked and I'm just falling down here, and yeah, the camera should, and here it could, yeah, causes some problem and I could fall down. But here it kind of works because you get the far away perspective when I'm doing the jumping, so yeah, all fine, I guess. And there you have one of those. I want that. See if I can. Yeah, there you go. Those crystals. You can only bash those blue crystals when you have this force field on. And those are supposed to upgrade loot. So yeah. Double jump, and let's use the crystal thing here. Well, force field thing. Oh, it doesn't. You can just activate it. You do not have to hold it. Yeah. And now we're up on here. Yeah, there's one more. Yeah. But as you can see, here the camera can cause some problems because it's really, really far away and I do not really see what's happening. And there was the thing I talked about. You walk into the screen and the camera changes perspective and you get kind of, not dizzy, but you have a hard time navigating. But this is common in the Japanese games. So, yeah, this feels very, very Dark Souls. All these castle settings and where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, there. All these castle settings and gloomy lighting and death. It is really. Oh, did I fall down? Yeah, but as you can see, oh, I'm on the other side of the. Where am I? I think so. Yeah, but all in all, I really enjoy this game because I am a person who plays. I usually have 2 games playing at the same time. Well, I of course go between them, and I have then I often have one of a bigger game like Assassin's Creed or some kind of RPG, which will take like 2 years for me to complete because of everything I do on the side. And then I have a easier game or a more action-based game, Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or something, so I can just relax and go in and bash some enemies sometimes when I do not have to concentrate. And I think this game fits that purpose really, really well. So, I think here we have some kind of boss. And you can actually as you can see, I can dodge to do combos and such. Then use, and now maybe not the boss, I don't know, killed it. It was a bigger guy at least. Sometimes I can see now that you have enemies that shoot stuff at you, and when they are behind you and you can't turn around the camera, it can be hard to see them. But it isn't really a problem, I think. I think that it's already a little bit repetitive, but on the other hand, I like this kind of games too, so I'm all fine with it. I talked about how I'm just able to button mash, but I'm getting my ass beat now, so I don't know. See if we have some kind of... Yeah, here, use. Can use to get some health back. So maybe it isn't as easy as I thought from the beginning, but then again, you learn to. But this big guy is annoying. Should be careful, I think. No. But I think if you're supposed to play this game, do it with a controller. I can't really see how this works with mouse and keyboard. Maybe it does, I haven't tried it, but for me it seems to be made for a controller. I am playing with an Xbox controller and it's working really well. And more barrels, creates the green orbs to give health, of course. So it isn't as strange. Did I go back now? I don't know. Nope. Or maybe there's something interesting here. More crates, of course. Yeah, I think I will end the video here, at least the gameplay with you. Yeah, as you can see, it is a very basic hack and slash game, which are resembling games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta and Ninja Gaiden, as I said in the video too. I think if you look at it historically, these kind of games are kind of evolution from the old arcade games like Golden Axe, Double Dragon and beat 'em up games from the 2D era. Just when you move them into the 3D area, it kind of ended up like this. And with the arcade history in Japan, I think it's really... Yeah, I think why these games are popular, there are a reason for it, and I think it's their arcade history. From the game perspective, as I said, it seems to be some kind of variations when it comes to fighting. You either can button mash, but you also have this ability to juggle enemies and do combos and stuff. So you can really do it as hard or as easy as you want to. I see the same stuff in Devil May Cry 2. You can just enjoy the story, or you can try to get the best ratings in every combat situation too. Also, as I said, the game itself now might seem a bit choppy because I have all these recording things on, but it isn't as choppy when I play without it. And the game is actually played on a laptop, so if you have a gaming computer or something, well, something decent, I think this game won't be any problem. Also, if you buy it on a console, PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, yes, I don't think you will have any problem at all with it. So there's that. I also want to mention that I bought this game, so this isn't, I haven't gotten a review code or anything. This is just my pure, well, my, this is, I haven't been paid off to do anything with this game, even though I did the interview with Joosten and everything. So this is a genuine, this is my genuine thoughts on the game. I really like the settings. I like these Gothic type of games. Can be a bit gloomy if you play a long time or if the game is too long, but I still like it. So this isn't a, yeah, and the vistas in this game is really good looking. So that I like. The camera I talked about, which can be a problem. I think they could have made it easier to move around, or just you could move it around more than you could now, because it causes problems where I have problem to see where I'm supposed to go, and sometimes it just causes me to get stuck behind stuff. But overall, I think it didn't give me any problem when it comes to the combat, because the combats are nearly always in open spaces, and the camera isn't a problem there. So there's that. The sound, yeah. I like the music. I really like Joosten's way to talk with herself, with this, well, she kind of managed to have energy between these two characters. You couldn't see it here in the video, but if you play the game and you see her talk about the the character talks to each other about the world, and so it works as a great exposition. Because if you go to the story, I think, like most Japanese games, the stories isn't that important. Joosten also say that in the interview I made, but I think there is something in this game which make me interested or invested in it, because something happened. I like the characters, and I like there's some kind of mystery here to everything, and I like to see how it all plays out. Yeah, I normally don't like to put a rating on games, because often when you put a number or a rating, people watch the rating and they don't read what I have written about the game, or they maybe in this particular thing about movies, they don't watch the movies, they will just skip to the rating. But if I should make a rating here right now, anyway, I will, out of 1 to 5, I would give it a solid 3. It could be a 4, it depends on how the game plays out, but as of now I think 3 is really what I'm going for, because I like it. Is it the best game ever? No, but it is a good game, and if you just want to jump in and after a bad day of work and bash some enemies, this is a really great game to do that. As for me, I use it as the other game. As I said, I play two games. I play a longer game like Assassin's Creed, or a more story-driven game, and then I have one more game which I play, which could be more action-based, which is easier to jump into, and you do not have to have 1 or 2 hours to get something out from a play session. This works perfectly. You go in, you can play for 10 minutes and move on from that. So it's really good. So 3 out of 5. And with that, if you like Devil May Cry, if you like Bayonetta, if you like these kind of action hack and slash games, you should really try this game. So I will just leave you all with that, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully next week. Bye.